I've got the ASUS Transformer Book T100HA here, which scored 80% in our notebook check review. In this video I'm going to take you around the device. I'm going to talk about performance. We've got some results from our test labs in terms of screen, heat, and of course battery life. 80% is a good score, but it really depends what you want from a very portable 2-in-1, the ASUS Transformer Book T100HA. Let's start with the most important aspect of this 10-inch 2-in-1. It's the keyboard and the screen. Starting with the keyboard, it hasn't really changed much in terms of feel and mechanics from previous Transformer books. So you've still got this sort of little bit of a bounce there and this plasticky feel and an echoey sound to the keys. It's pretty functional though, and as long as you get used to it, you won't have any problems bashing out emails, maybe a few blogs, etc. But it won't be anything you want to use all day, every day. As for the mouse pad, well, it's quite smooth, but it's not changed and not improved from the previous versions as well. Clicks a little bit, well, that's a little bit too flexible on the left and right hand sides of that mouse pad there. Now onto the screen. The screen is a 1280 by 800 resolution screen. But it's actually a pretty good 1280 by 800 resolution screen because the brightness and the accuracy of the screen is pretty good. Let's take a look at some of those figures now. Middle brightness goes up to 480 nits, which is really quite impressive. 482.7 is the highest we measured on the bottom center. Looking at the contrast, a brilliant contrast ratio of 1482. The black levels are really down there. The grayscale delta, the color checker delta, all below 4, which is a very good sign as well. 47% of Adobe RGB space being covered there. So actually in terms of colors and brightness and accuracy, it's up there with much more expensive devices, and even beats the Transformer Book T100HA, which is a much more expensive device. That's as far back as the screen tips. So if you're using this on your lap or you're sitting very high up above it, that screen angle is probably not optimal, and the reason is that if you get to that screen angle, it's going to tip back. So ASUS have limited the amount that it'll tip back. Before we look at performance, let's look at some of the ports, because there's a couple of features here that need to be mentioned. Firstly, you've got a full-size port on the base. I've got a USB connected SSD drive here, but this is a USB 2 port. There's another micro USB port on the side here, and that is also a USB 2 port, and that's also the charging port as well. If we flip it over on the other side, you'll see here we've got a USB C port, and behind that is a USB 3.1 Rev 1 connection, so 5 gigabits per second USB 3 connection. So in this sort of scenario where you've got a fast USB drive and you want to transfer some files, get yourself a USB 3 to USB-C adapter and you'll be able to transfer files onto that tablet pretty quickly. What else have we got in terms of ports? We've got micro HDMI, a micro SD card slot, and you've got your headphone slot there. On the top there's a couple of mic ports, so that's, sorry, a mic input, so that's a mic array on there, and just a volume rocker on the left, power on the top. On the back you've got the camera. The tablet part itself is pretty light, pretty thin, and nicely built actually. This is the, I think, aqua blue colour from ASUS. There's ASUS, sorry, there's two other colours. One thing to mention is the weight, 580 grams. It's not the lightest 10-inch tablet out there, but together with the base, that is a 1.07 kilogram solution. So very, very portable. There's a 30 watt-hour battery inside. I'll give you some battery life figures in a minute. Let's look at performance. Here we're running Cinebench R11.5, and don't forget this is a full 64-bit Windows build on here and a 64-bit processor architecture. 4 gigs of RAM as well in this, so it's a step up from the 2 gigs of previous Transformer books. That R11 multi 64-bit CPU score comes in at 1.63. If you look at some comparisons there with the Microsoft Surface 3, which also runs the Atom, but it's the Atom X7, the slightly higher performance version, that is about 8% more powerful on that. Sorry, on the CPU, it's 10% more powerful than the T100HA. Looking up at the top there, it was the OpenGL scores where it's 8% more powerful. So 10.83 frames per second on the T100HA, 11.71 on the Microsoft Surface 3. So getting close to Microsoft Surface 3 performance, which is entry-level office and daytime use performance. Although there's an eMMC soldered drive inside, so not a SATA, not a PCIe SSD, the results aren't too bad, and sequential read may only be 139.2 megabytes per second. There's some important figures there with those 4K read and write speeds, which at 15 and 17.5 megabytes per second beat a lot of other devices that use the Atom eMMC combination. So that should be pretty good in terms of snappiness and UI snappiness, transferring files and unpacking zips and etc. Don't think about PC gaming, although we did test StarCraft 2 at very low settings. This 2010 game got an acceptable 64 frames per second, but that is about it for PC gaming, unless you're going for Windows Store games, and that's really what this is good for. Certainly things like Driftmania and other GPU intensive games in the Windows Store certainly be usable here. This is a completely fanless tablet, and it stays very cool under load. 35.2 was the maximum we could measure on the top right of the tablet. In terms of battery life then, let's get on to the important battery life figure with that 30 watt hour battery inside. Idle times are super, 24 hours 20 minutes. That's the Atom platform really clocking down and shutting off when it's not being used. Wi-Fi surfing, 9 hours and 1 minute, which is a really excellent score actually for 30 watt hour battery, and shows that that Atom is working well and is very energy efficient. Under load, 4 hours 6 minutes. Well, bigger devices will get you less performance under load, but you'll probably get your work done quicker. So that's relative to the amount of work you need to do under load. For gaming, obviously, that's 4 hours of Windows Store gaming. Pros and cons. The base docking mechanism has been improved. There's no delay on docking to initialize the keyboard and touchpad. Great LCD brightness and good all-round color reproduction. Improved GPU performance over the T100G. The eMMC performance has been improved. Good thermal management and passive cooling. Battery life is good. And with the 3 USB ports, it's a pretty good selection for its class of device, and it is very inexpensive. Our test model is now available for under €300. The cons, well, that keyboard base is not quite as stable as it was in the previous versions. A little bit of flex under light to moderate pressure and a little bit of flex while typing as well. You'll need to get used to that keyboard, but it is similar to many other keyboards on 10-inch devices. Integrated touchpad buttons, a little bit difficult to use. This is not the perfect touchpad experience. 1280 by 800 screen resolution, that might be a problem for you. Application performance, obviously with the Atom X5, is entry-level, as I mentioned. Entry-level office, entry-level gaming, entry-level web browsing speeds. The loudspeakers are pretty bad. So that was the ASUS Transformer Book T100HA. Hope you enjoyed that. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, because there's more videos coming up in this series on a daily basis. I've got literally 3 devices to the left of me right now which need video reviews done within the next 48 hours. So subscribe, stay tuned, and you'll get summary reviews of all our Notebook Check detailed reviews. Don't forget to check out all the reviews on notebookcheck.com for the German versions and notebookcheck.net for the English versions. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next video.